Okay, next topic, autopilot system. I think autopilot, so automatic system. Okay, which will be having two types. So longitudinal autopilot system, lateral autopilot system. First, we are going to see about the longitudinal autopilot system. So in that we are going to cover all this point: displacement autopilot, pitch speed control system, acceleration control system, vertical speed control, max speed control, altitude control. So these are the controls over by the autopilot system. Okay. So we all may know in the block diagram the sum symbol will be having two input signal, that is the two input signal, this one, these two. Okay, so two input, one will be the output for every sum symbol. Okay, so based on the symbol representing here you will be getting the output. Okay, that is given here even if plus and minus symbols do not appear. So even though you are not having plus and minus symbol, then it will be considered as a feedback. Okay, so one will be the input and another will be the feedback. Okay, if you don't have any symbols, that is plus or minus symbols. So control surface actuator. What is actuator? Control surface actuator. So actuator is like a controller. Okay, so far you will be studied various transfer functions. Okay, for understanding or representing the aircraft dynamics. So every control system will be depending on the transfer functions. So here the servo actuator also uses a transfer function which will be in the first order system. So here it will be used for deflecting the aerodynamic control. Okay, so servo actuator deflects the aerodynamic control either in the mannerism of electrical mean, hydraulic mean, or pneumatic, or some other combination, electrical and hydraulic, electrical with the pneumatic. Okay, so in that mean it will be controlling the aerodynamics. Okay, so transfer functions for any sensor in the control loop, attitude gyro, rate gyro, altimeter, or velocity sensor. So transfer function which will be determining the sensors control. Okay, sensors, any sensors which will be used for controlling the loop will determine the transfer function with the what to say, with the gain. Okay, with the gain, uh, you will be seen டிஎஸ்பி படிச்சிருக்கீங்களா, டிஜிட்டல் சிக்னல் ப்ராசஸிங். அதில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஃபங்க்ஷன்ஸ் டிட்டர்மைன் பண்ணினா you will be using the main term as a gain. Okay, the same thing is going to be used here. Displacement autopilot system. So displacement, what is displacement? Any one of you? So change in position or movement, anything else we can keep. Okay, displacement autopilot system. This was first developed by Sperry Corporation. Linked a gyroscopic altitude with a magnetocompass to the rudder, the elevator, and flaps. So here we are going to link gyroscopic altitude with your magnetocompass through the elevator, flaps, and rudder. Okay, this will be forming a displacement autopilot system, which will be allowing the flight to move straight and level. Okay, without any pilot intervention. Okay, so without the knowledge of pilot, it will be automatically running or moving the flight in straight and level manner. Okay, that is the use of displacement AP. So autopilot system nave, that is nothing but without the intervention of pilot, the system, that is autopilot, can be able to control and manage. Okay, so displacement graph, it will be allowing the flight to move straight and level without the pilot control. Okay, it will be automatically running the flight in straight and level manner. Okay, this is the most important point in the displacement AP. See here, straight and level AP is the most common and thus the cheapest, low error due to the use of simple control system. That means here you are going to use the simple control system. That's why the error will be very low. So this is the block diagram of displacement AP. So here the pitch and altitude angle will be between horizontal and longitudinal axis. Okay, so vertical gyroscope connected to amplifier with the elevator servo and aircraft dynamics. Okay, gyroscope நம்ம இதிலே படிச்சிருக்கோம் தேர்ட் யூனிட்லே தேர்டா ஃபோர்த் யூனிட் சாரி ஃபோர்த் யூனிட்ல படிச்சிருக்கோம். Okay, I think amplifier you all know, that is just to amplify the signal. Okay, boosting the signal. Elevator servo means it will be used for adjusting the movement. Okay, the direction of the autopilot system. Then aircraft dynamics. Um, so if pitch angle varies between the horizontal and longitudinal axis, then voltage EG, okay, value of voltage will be generated and that will be amplified in the amplifier and then given to elevator servo meter, which will be changing the position of the elevator. Okay, so based on the generation of voltage in the vertical gyroscope, which will be giving the changes in position in the elevator. Okay, then transfer function, which will be representing the aircraft dynamics. Okay, so before representing this transfer function, we have to remember the six hypotheses. These are the six hypothesis point. So x and z axis in the plane of symmetry of the aircraft and its gravity center will be equal to the origin of the system of axis. So symmetry level of the aircraft system lies on the gravity center, which will be equivalent to the origin. Okay, that is the first point. Then second one is it has constant mass value will be constant. அதே மாதிரி rigid solid will be equal to the aircraft. So solid, rigid solid will mean to the physical appearance of your aircraft, that is aircraft weight. Okay, earth will be equal to inertial reference frame and then small perturbation with respect to the equilibrium, leveled, non-accelerated, non-turbulent flight. So these are the 6 points you have to keep remembering while you are calculating the transfer function of for aircraft dynamics. So these are the few elevators movement. This transfer function for the dynamics they given. Okay, these are few example. Okay, for the longitudinal model, the transfer function few example given here. The next we go for the uh, same transfer function how it is corrected. Okay, so by giving the feedback through the summer, the transfer function value will be changed. Okay, so so first block will be having the transfer function, that is first block gyroscope, gyroscope amplifier, அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் என்ன பண்ணீங்க servo elevator. So each and every block will be having the separate transfer function that is given here. Okay, so from the last, that is output, from the output, that is output of servo elevator will be given as a feedback to the input. side. Okay, input side is nothing but vertical gyroscope, which will be summing the feedback signal as well as the input signal. Okay, this is second aircraft basic correction. So this is same thing. The first aircraft system, okay, the second aircraft system, some values will be changed here. Okay, just for changing the uh, transfer function value between first craft system and second craft system, they given this diagram. இதுக்கு வேற value transfer functions, but the same concept. See this, here you will be having the pitch rate feedback. Here two parameters you need to be selected, that is root locus using root locus method and trial and error procedure. You have to select two parameters. Okay, that's why you are going to give a two feedback. Okay, so first feedback will be given to the gyroscope, and then second output will be given to the amplifier, second feedback. See here the same thing. So based on that, the pitch rate feedback will be selected. So based on that, you will be getting the voltage value. Okay, change in voltage value. So that value will be amplified and given to the elevator, which will be changing the direction of your aircraft system. This is speed AP. So speed AP is nothing but the speed control. Okay, so for direction displacement we had seen. So similar to that, the speed of the aircraft system will be controlled by the speed autopilot system. Okay, without the intervention of your pilot. Okay, everything will be automatic. So here for controlling the speed, you will be using control stick steering. Okay, to maintain the speed. So here what are the parameters used for maintaining the stability is given here. Um, Here you will be limiting the angle of attack, okay, to maintain the stability in the speed, and also it will be allowing the aircraft to fly in the angle of attack higher than the critical one. Okay, so these are the thing is maintained by your automatic control system. The next, acceleration. So acceleration also mean to speed only. Okay, so the speed control is done through the accelerometer. Here the correction will be very fine. So acceleration control system can't distinguish between the acceleration of gravity and the acceleration due to the movement of aircraft. So here you will be having two types of acceleration. One is due to gravity and another one is due to the movement of aircraft. So based on that, the acceleration may change. So non-desired turbulent acceleration will be giving the noise. Okay, so to avoid this problem, you have to maintain the constant acceleration. Automatic pilot system will use the acceleration scarcely uh, because of this problem. So here sometimes pilot intervention is needed. Okay, to have the to take over the problem. Okay, sometimes it will necessary to have the maneuver, that is pilot control. Okay, because of this problem, it is noise due to the turbulence acceleration. This is the basic configuration of a longitudinal autopilot system. So it will be maintaining the pitch angle constant, rate constant, acceleration constant, so that it will be very good for maneuverability, but it will be very bad for stability. Um, and then basic modes பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, when pilot turns on autopilot system, It may be activated by default. So default you will be setting the autopilot system mode in the aircraft. Okay, then only you can able to have the autopilot system. Okay, this is vertical speed autopilot system, which will be maintaining the constant speed, vertical speed. Okay, so their transfer function and gain are given here in the diagram. This is the flow diagram. Okay, not the block diagram, flow diagram. Control system படிச்சிருந்தீங்கன்னா the flow diagram தெரியும். So about the flow diagram, they given the explanation here. So auto loop will be determining the uh, angle, okay, which will be having the input control. Then greater loop will have the control's trajectory parameter and then guidance to the aircraft system about the flight information, vision, instrumentation, what used, everything will be given in the greater loop, which will be used for stabilizing also. And then inner loop responsible for stabilizing the servo. Okay, uh, so sensors which is used in the gyrometer will measure the pitch angle and as well as the vertical speed. Okay, here three phases, one command, that is flight control unit command. So three phases la pathina turn on mode and identify the reference value, maintaining it. Okay, these are the three phases involved in the superior mode. Then Mach number. So Mach number, uh, if you have the Mach number or Mach hold mode, then aircraft will be flying at the constant Mach speed. And the Mach number பொறுத்து தான் the speed will be maintained throughout the automatic autopilot system. Okay, so the elevator will be which will be maintaining this direction as well as the speed will be based on the Mach number provided. Okay, so here if the speed increases, which will be detected by the control system. So control system nave enna, which will be detecting the variation. Okay, so normala இருக்கிற இதை விட if you find out any variation means only that will be find out only by the control system. So that will be given as a feedback to the gyrometer. Gyro, what it will do, it will be creating or generating the voltage based on that changes. So that will be provided to the elevator, which will be correcting the changes. Okay, changes in the direction as well as the speed. Okay, this is the diagram of that. Okay, so sensor 1 vertical gyro, sensor 2 is anemometer, which will be used in the input side. Then altitude control, so altitude na height. Okay, so vertical distance between the planes in flight will be maintained in the automatic manner. Okay, so that is controlled and maintained automatically by thrust visible and noise alarm, which will be warning the crew to um, intervene the or take over the control of autopilot. Sorry, um uh, plane. Okay, this is your altitude control autopilot systems flow diagram. So here you will be using sensor 1, 2, 3. Okay. So first sensor is vertical gyro, second one variometer, third one altimeter. Okay. So altimeter sensor only going to sense the height of the autopilot system. Then next we go for the lateral autopilot system. So lateral one we can see in the next hour.